Hey, while we're waiting, okay, hold on. We're gonna start. We're gonna do the public hearing first on the tax, and then
Let's do the budget first.
do the budget
Yeah,
first.
budget and tax, always, always.
Okay. All right, are we on now?
Yes, we are live.
All right, this will go ahead and get started, and we'll get started like we traditionally do. We'll go ahead and do the roll call first. We'll go ahead and take care of that.
District 1 Alderman Bill Gear.
Present.
District 2 Alderman Richard Hughes.
Present.
District 3 Alderman David Emery.
Here.
District 4 Alderman Michael Rodriguez.
Here.
And District 5 Alderman Charles P. Sampson.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Bola. If we can all please stand, go ahead and do our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Tonight, we actually have two public hearings. The first one we're going to go ahead and take care of is the City of Lido will be holding a public hearing on its 2023-2024 budget on September 18, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. at Lido City Hall located at 14916 Main Street, Lido, Texas 78052. This budget will raise more revenue from property taxes than last year's budget by an amount of $146,317, which is a 17.1% increase from last year's budget. The property value to be raised from the new property added to the tax roll this year is $65,466. All right, so we'll open it up. We don't have anybody signing up for public.
So
hearing.
what I've seen in the past on some mayors, they typically just leave it open for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And see if anybody shows up, and if not, we can close out and go to the next one.
So we'll wait a little bit, unless those in the audience, on the staff. Cassandra says, can you bump it up $1,000 more? Say, we want a little bit more, and we bump it up. But council, if you remember, this budget was balanced pretty good. We had a little bit of an offset that we're still just trying to make up on that, but it was pretty close based on what we were looking at. And at the same time, we're gonna talk about the taxes. It ties pretty good, being very responsible for our citizens and trying to keep that together. So I think we're doing it in the right way, doing little steps and everything. There will be some adjustments in the future that we'll need to do as we actually start taking more of the heavy lifting that is coming, but we don't want to start too early because there's certain things that you have to follow a timeline to be able to get those projects completed. So, and I think everything is going to tie in together with the great help of our staff that does all that for us. So let's see, we can go ahead and show. It's 6:34. We'll wait another minute. We'll wait one more minute, see if we have anybody else to actually show up. And for the new council members, just so you know, normally we don't have a lot of folks that show up for these. It's a normal thing, but we always give everybody the opportunity. That's what it's. That's what
It
it's
is a statutory required step for our last step, which is the formal adoption of our budget and tax rate next Monday.
So we'll have that.
I think it shows that Simmons Reed trust us very much. You did a good job, first of all.
I haven't had one call this year on it. Last year I had several calls.
Really?
Questions.
Well, last year was just, we were a lot more lined up.
Like that.
Things were lined up a lot better. So people could understand it a little bit easier. So,
Well, no, I had more calls last year than this year.
Hmm?
I had more questions and calls last year than this year.
but they started understanding.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
yep, yep. All right, so it's 6:36. Paula, if you can please note, we did not have anybody in attendance. There's no comments on there. So if we can go ahead and show at 6:36, it's a public hearing, so we don't need a motion or anything. We'll just go ahead and close that. Okay? Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the other notice of public hearing. This one, I'm not going to read the whole thing entirely. I'll just cover the highlights that go along with this. But this is a notice of public hearing on the tax increase. And Paula, if you can go ahead and show us opening it up at 6:36. Okay. So there's a notice of public hearing on tax increase. And basically what we're highlighting on here is a proposed tax rate 0.3883, the new revenue tax rate 0.3416, and the voter approval tax rate, which I know sometimes can be confusing, but that's the one that we don't need to put it out for the voters to actually vote, is a 0.3883 per 100 of the estimated value on there. So that's going to be the proposed tax increase that we're going to do. And Matt, if I'm not mistaken on that, that still pretty much keeps us below every surrounding community around here, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Much lower.
Much lower. I think is it 8? Well, depending on what they adopt, right? But I think we're going to have between 8 to 12 cents somewhere in there, depending on how the numbers end up. So we're going to have a pretty good gap between us and some of the other surrounding communities. Just depending on their final one, but it should be right around there. No tax revenue rate is a tax rate for 2024. Tax year will raise the same amount of property tax value for the city of Idle from the same properties in both the 2023 tax year and the 2024 tax year. Okay. This public hearing is being held today on the 18th of 2023 at 6:30 here at City Hall. And basically, we're going to go ahead and open it up and see if we have anybody that might have any comments or anything for the council to take note of. I know Paula's looking really hard. She might have to step out the door and wave at somebody on the street. But we're just going to go ahead and give everybody a chance right now and see if we have anybody else that shows up. We'll give them a few minutes. It goes along with that. Is there anything we want to share, Matt, Lynette, anything on this tax rate we have?
I think we're gonna see a bigger difference next year, so.
So we start taking on, if there's additional liabilities, right, in the sense of things that we start funding.
We'll start pushing, what we call pushing debt for the next year. I did a forecast on that with Andrew, so we'll see a bigger difference next year.
So we'll see an increase, but even with the increase, I bet you anything, we're still gonna be tied
I still think we'll lower.
or below, what we have. I think we're gonna be, so we're doing really, really good for what we're actually doing. So it's good stuff, and we're working out on some of the different projects and stuff. We'll still give it a little bit of time and things. I will let you guys know, so, coal mine, remember we had about the street light out there in the intersection? Matt and I have been working really hard on that, so should see something here in the near future, hopefully. That'll be good.
You have blinking light or something?
Street light, well, street light in a sense of just illumination, it's dark.
Oh, street light, okay.
Yeah, street light, yeah, not a traffic light.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of calls for, Twin Lakes. I try to tell them that what our jurisdiction is. They're saying, well, yeah, we're considered liable. And I'm like, yeah, but you're more of a county, issue. I said, all I can do is bring it up. I
Yeah.
can't promise anything. I've been through there. I know the roads are bad, but.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll have a chance to deal with some of those things in there, but just put a little bit of extra time in there, just so you know, we've been working on that one.
Just
Right.
go straight too far, make sure we take this on the tax
Yep.
right now.
Yep. So we're at 6:40 right now, yeah.
Tennessee is doing
Just
that.
information, that's all we're passing, just
Yeah.
information. So 6:40 right now, and Paula, you can actually show, we actually have nobody here. No comments. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and close. It is 6:41. We'll go ahead and close the public hearing now. Okay? Thank you, council. Really appreciate it. It's short and sweet on this one. We just need to make sure that we, once again, are open to our public and give them a chance to provide inputs. We'll go ahead and take our next steps appropriately on the timeline, some of them as early as next week when we have our regular council meeting. And with that, we conclude tonight. Thank you.
Oh, did you get all those notes?